Right. Hi. This video is about somebody I've spoken a lot about on this channel. I haven't spoken about him for a while, but that's because he's been pretty quiet. However, that hasn't stayed that way. Now, I do have a screen grab to put in here as well. It's on the tablet. That comes from it's the Department of Work and Customs, which is essentially the British form of the IRS. But I will get to that in a second. Now, John's been quiet. We didn't have any huge act up over in December, which was unusual, but it was something I was very glad about because we didn't want a repeat of the last 2 years. However, the only thing that did happen in December was another launch of his cosmetic brands, which I'll get to in a second. His last video was 2 months ago, so we're talking February. He's been on holiday. Even though he says he's been studying, how can you be on holiday abroad and studying if by studying you mean going to university at the same time? You can't. So, it says that he's also said that he's relocating Kuckian Cosmetics from within the UK to from without the UK due to Brexit. For those that aren't aware, quite some time ago, a large portion of the population within the UK decided we're done with Europe, we want to leave Europe. Now, there is issues with regards to the whole process. I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a political channel. But a lot of businesses are worried, especially when it comes to deliveries and things like that. But the thing with John is his company offices and everything are based here in the UK. And his company offices are what you call rent-a-space, where basically you put your company address as a specific address, but you're not actually based at that address. And it's for people that do certain companies that you can run from home, but you need an actual business address, and for whatever reason they don't want to put the personal address on, so they use these other addresses. It's sort of like a PO box type thing where the business is registered to a specific address, but the actual business isn't based in that address because, for those that don't know, John's business address is in London. However, the stock comes from China and is delivered out of America. So, in accordance to what I've heard, okay, he's attacked, even though he's been quiet, he has decided over the last couple of days, 2 people have done videos, which is Drama by Ali and Ellie Loves Drama, or Emmy Loves Tea or something like that. And they've both done videos on John and on Kuckian Cosmetics and on the pros, where everybody is, because he is quiet, he is unusually quiet, and there are a lot of things that are going on. And when they did the video, specifically the one by Ellie, she pointed out a lot of information that I don't think he wanted people to find out just yet. And he turned around and said, what you're saying, you're slanderous, you're bullying, you're harassing, blah, blah, blah. Like we said, this is not the first person that he is accused of slander. He's done it with Michael Indigo, he's done it with Beauty by Ashley, he's done it with anybody who's critical of him, especially those of the channels that have done, that were once his friends, like Here for the Tea and Dustin Daily and Peter Mon. He's attacked them later on. So his channel, now, one of the things Ellie mentioned in her video was that by law here in the UK, when it comes to our tax year, which ends like end of March, beginning of April, usually it's the 1st of April, and what happens is when you own a business, and whether you sell within the UK or not, if your business is registered in the UK, and was registered in the UK from the previous year, meaning the last tax year end. So say if he registered the business last April, he would still need to submit the paperwork that he hasn't submitted. What he's not done is he hasn't submitted something which is called a confirmation, a business confirmation. Basically saying, yeah, it's still based at this address. Yes, the information is correct with regards to staff, CEO, etc. Yes, this, and this, etc. He's not done that, and he should have done that last month. Then we have the fact that he's not submitted his accounts to the IRS, from what we've heard. That is illegal. He's not submitted his anything like that. And there is actually an update on the IRS website, which I will get to in a sec. Like I say, in the UK it's not called the IRS, but for people that aren't based in the UK, I'm calling it the IRS because it is our equivalent of the IRS. Now, on, I think it was Ellie's video, Ali, or on Ali's video, Ellie, no, it's Ellie's video, Ali asked a question with relation to, I'll link the two videos in question in the iCard anyway, asked several questions because he, was like, this is slanderous, none of this is true, I'm in the process of transferring my company to a different country, so I have to do this and this in the UK to be able to transfer it over to a different country, etc, so on and so forth, and he's blaming everything on Brexit. And one of the people in question, I think it was Ellie, asked him several questions saying, why did you lie about Peter Mum? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? He never answered any of the questions. He's since deleted the thread, but a large portion of the thread were captured and was put in one of these two videos. I will be linking up in the iCard. They also questioned if he'd announced the giveaway winner on his Instagram or on the business Instagram. He did a Valentine's Day giveaway in February. It's now April and he still hasn't announced the winner. He never answered any questions relating to Peter Mon, Here for the Tea, Thomas Halbert, Jeffree Star, Manny, or anything like that. He did say this, however, and for those that don't know my stance on John, this really did make me laugh. People love or hate me because I speak about their idols when I run investigations. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing investigations, and I will get to that point. And I've got a few home truths for Johnny, should he ever see this video. And I know he has seen my videos in the past. Another fact I'll get to later. People don't like you for the following reasons. You slander people. You slandered a lot of people. You slandered Peter Mon, saying that it was a predator, that a beauty guru groomed you, that Sam was protecting a predator, that Jeffree Star was at an STD clinic, that Manny had herpes. You are dangerous, and there's a few reasons why you're dangerous. Your cosmetics have dangerous ingredients within them, something we've discussed in the past. Your cookie cult threaten people's lives, and you have blackmailed people. Illegal activity, like I said, there's the not posting the appropriate paperwork with the Department of Work and Pensions here in the UK that he should have done, and he's gonna get fined for that. He's recorded people without their permissions, one of which cannot be recorded in any way because he works for the US Department of Defense, so it is illegal to record him because it is a violation of national security. Not filing paperwork for his company, not filing paperwork for the club properly, that he was supposed to have the physical release party and not this Christmas, just gone the Christmas before. And we don't even know if the refunds ever took place for that event, whether people just forgot about that. We have no way of nothing. And then there's the false representation of your company. He's a hypocrite. He's saying his reporting isn't slander. So Manny apparently he turned around in one video and said Manny gave someone herpes. Another video he said that Jeffrey stores at the STD clinic. He's also said a lot of things about a lot of other people. He's never apologised to Peter Mon for the 2 times that he's accused him of being a predator, which Peter isn't. He's never apologised. He says he's apologised to Jeffrey and Manny, but I've never seen any proof of that. Still tries to play the victim, that he's the one that's being bullied, he's the one that's being harassed, he's the one that's being painted in this bad light, but yet he's painting other people in a bad light when he does his investigations. Saying his company is fine and that he's just closed out, and that he's just closed out his biggest deal in Russia. Now, I have 2 problems with this. Problem number 1 is, for those that aren't aware, Russia are on a bit of, and again I'm going to try not to get political, but Russia are on a pretty bad footing at the moment. We have the issues with regards to the American elections. We have the issues with regards to, I think it's Venezuela, where there was an election and Russia was backing the people that, in opposition to the people that the UK, the US and several of the major powers are backing up. And then there's the fact that why would, and I'm saying this as somebody who's bisexual and it pisses me off, why would a gay man broach a business deal in a country where people who are gay or bisexual can't have same-sex marriages, that have no rights if they're on a same-sex relationship? They don't even have civil partnerships. And their treatment of people within the LGBT space is absolutely horrendous. There is no representation in Russian media with regards to the LGBT because it's not allowed. It's illegal to do LGBT propaganda, because they think that if somebody sees 2 people kissing on a TV, it's going to turn them gay. No, it'll only make them realise that they're gay if they are gay, and if they're not gay, it won't do deal of shit to them. But I'm surprised that a gay man would do business deals with a country like that. On the UK website for the Department of Work and Pensions, i.e. the IRS website, the Kuckian Cosmetics has been dissolved as of 16th of April 2019, which is 6 days, so it'll be, I don't know what day, but today, which is Wednesday, is the 10th. So in 6 days it'll be classed as dissolved in the UK, which apparently if you are going to move one company from one country to another, you have to dissolve it in that country and then reform it in another country. And which is what he's saying he's doing. But considering how badly the reputation of the brand owner, and the fact that it's caused people's reactions, that it's been banned in some countries, I don't think that is true. Let's get to Kuckian Cosmetics. For those that aren't aware, these are the issues. Bad website. The first release, the actual release night, the website was either hacked or made to time out to make people think that he was selling a lot. For example, when you go onto Jeffree Star's website when he does a release, and you get the thing where it keeps trying to connect, but because the server's so busy, he can't connect. When he did his release, he actually said that because he sold so many, the website timed out. I had a friend of mine who actually is an IT security expert. I'm not going to tell you who he is or anything like that because it's nobody's business. He had a look at the website and he said he saw the programming section that I sent him, and he looked at the website itself. He said it was either hacked or somebody put that into the website programming where it would time out on purpose. So it was either hacked to time out on purpose or it was made to time out on purpose. And it's quite suspicious when John's brother is an IT expert. A lot of people had bad reactions to the cosmetics. A lot of people had burning on the eyelids, on the lips. A lot of people had really, really nasty reactions. A lot of people came up with spots, and it wasn't very nice. There were a lot of false reviews of people saying, oh, it's great. And it's like, really, bitch? When the exact same thing you're putting on your face, somebody else has put on the face, and it's made their eyes burn. Then there's the bad representation. John's actions in general over the last several years have painted him and anything he touches in a bad light. Now, for people are probably thinking, what the fuck are you on about, Simone? Because of what John does, anything that John touches taints his brand. His involvement in it taints that thing. Just like up until Shane Dawson's series, everything Jeffree Star touched was seen as tainted by a lot of people. But since we now know more about Jeffree Star and we know more about his history and his background, etc., we sort of understand why he did certain things, and we also understand the context of certain things a lot better than we did before. Whereas with John, because we see the videos of him saying that Peter Mon is a predator, that he was trying to do this and he was trying to do that, and that he was trying to do this, and Thomas Halbert did this and Thomas Halbert did that, this Peter Guru did this to me, blah 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 blah. Really, bitch? His downfall is everything I've said before: slandering Peter Mon, blackmailing Thomas Halbert, slandering Here for the Tea, scamming fans, the release party, questionable Instagram giveaway because we still don't know who won, false use of copyright. For those unaware of what that is, he used the audio from somebody's Snapchat rant to make ringtones. And he said that what money he was going to make from that, he was going to donate to charity. He donated some money to charity, but he never showed how much he actually made. So a lot of people question him on that one. Harassment and defamation of people who gave him somewhere to stay. Meaning the couple that he stayed with, and he recorded them illegally, especially the gentleman, because he works for the Department of Defence, and he would push them and push them and push them, and he's like, everybody I stayed with in America was crazy, and it's like, yeah, usually, I'm going to go all Dr. Phil on this, if you look at several instances, and all instances turn out the same, you look for the common denominator, and in all these instances the common denominator was John. So thus meaning that John was the instigator of all the issues. And it is possible that this is where I mentioned before, a lot of the threats that a lot of people who've spoken up against him, like myself, Beauty by Ashley, a lot of people, we get death threats. I've gotten them in the past. And we get death threats, like people, like somebody's going to come into your house and do this, 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 and this. there is speculation, and I'm actually inclined to believe it, that those accounts are actually John, and that he is using fan accounts to attack people, which is something I wouldn't put past him. My issues with him are he's a hypocrite, he's a liar, he's manipulative, he's slanderous, he plays the victim more often than not, or it's not my fault, they attacked me, it's not my fault, she wanted to burn the house down with me in it, it's not my fault, I saw her hit him, it's not my fault, Peter Munn did this to me. He's also a bad representation of British people and of British YouTubers. There are a few British YouTubers I would love to shake, and he's definitely one of them. Right. Now, my closing arguments. I'm trying to keep this as condensed and as brief and as unemotional as possible. There's a reason why I'm not going to get into it today. I'll leave my last video up in the iCard for those that don't know what I'm on about. So this is my closing point to John. It seems that John has no idea what slander actually is, but like somebody else. And he has no idea what bullying is, has no defence, as some of the things that he has said and done are not something that can be defended, or I did this because of this, and it's like, yeah, but you have no proof at all. He also wouldn't know investigative journalism if it came up to him and slapped him in the face. If you want to see a good example of investigative journalism or doing investigations, look at Philip DeFranco. There's a reason why he's one of the more trusted news channels on YouTube, and that's because he'll give you the facts, then his opinion, whereas John will twist everything to make him sound better. Other examples of people that try and research are people like Primink, Marky, I Am Alex, and there's quite a few others. He's also... The thing with John is he gets a little something and then blows it into something that's 100 times bigger. Jeffree Star uses a term that is used in both gay and drag culture, and it's something that John occasionally says. So John turned around and said, he's shading me, he's copying me. Sanders does the same story as him with the same fights. He's copying me. Jeffree Star ignores him. Fakes a tweet to fake a story. If you get a story, you research it. And you research it, and then you provide the information. I will say that I try my best to adhere to this. I don't always. I sometimes do things out of reaction, primarily because I'm emotional at times. But if he had stuck to investigate, and then only if there is enough information, only if there is something that would stand up to scrutiny, then raise it. But a lot of the stuff he'll say doesn't even stand up to scrutiny, and never will, because he does half-assed jobs. So yeah, he's quiet, he's not uploaded for 2 months, he's on holiday, he's not being very nice to people who are saying that his cosmetic brand's over. But considering that his last release wasn't really reviewed by anybody on YouTube, any of the beauty gurus, that Jeffree Star wouldn't even touch it with a barge pole. I don't know anybody who would now, especially on YouTube, considering John's history and John's behaviour towards the YouTubers. There is a reason why nobody talks to him anymore. There is a reason why people have turned their back on him. And that is because he tries to manipulate them. He tries to get them to do what he wants to. And then he hurts them in some of the worst possible ways. He stole information off Here for the Tea. They were supposed to do a collab video, but he ended up stealing all the information and beating out the story. Because Petermon wouldn't do certain things for him, he turned around and called him a predator. You just don't. There's a reason why he's one of the worst people on the platform. Him and the other person I'm going to do a video on in a sec, Friday. But when I say that the way John is behaving is very indicative of somebody who has a lot to hide, and he's indicative of somebody who really has no idea what the fuck he's doing, I'm not joking. As somebody who has a science background that he claims he has, I can tell you half the shit he does I would never do. As somebody with a science background, bearing in mind my science is not biomedical, mine's forensic, but even as a forensic scientist, I would not sell cosmetics from a company in China that I didn't test myself, that I didn't get samples of and test every single part of them. He also claims that people are private labelling, which is exactly what he's doing. He's just saying that he isn't, but he's not providing proof. When people have found his custom lipstick tubes on bulk buy websites, that the eyeshadow palettes, that the eyeshadow shades are found on AliExpress. He needs to if he wants to stay off the internet, stay off the internet. Don't come back to the internet, because that's the last thing we need. There's a reason why people have stopped giving a shit about him. There's a reason why people don't give a shit about him anymore. And there is a reason why a lot of us are so pissed off at him. And that is because he's one of the worst people on this platform. And I'm glad he's on a break. And I hope the break continues indefinitely. I think that he should go back to doing what he was doing before. But next time, don't rip off somebody else's art as your own. Don't copy other people's work as your own. And in general, don't say to people, oh, you've done this, when they haven't done anything. Just as a bit of advice. As from somebody who's older than you. From the same country, but older than you. So, you know. So, with that being said, I'm going to edit this video in a bit. Stay safe, be good, have fun. And I will see you on Friday, because I have a video for you on Friday, which is this one. Which actually has a link to this one. You'll see that on Friday. See you on Friday.